Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we have a mini sketchbook challenge again with the black watercolor paper. I go over things step by step by painting, just using a brush, pushing some paint around, a little white gouache mixed with the watercolor. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Also, don't forget to check out my Patreon. I have ad-free videos, traceables, exclusive tutorials, and live stream once a month that will pop up in about a minute up here, so go check that out. And also, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section and hit the bell notification button to know when my tutorials are up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe because we're going to be painting some fun, oops, there's the first one, some fun stuff today. Let's get started. Alright guys, for this sketchbook challenge, I'm using the Stonehenge Aqua Cold Press Black mini sketchbook. I've gone over like that I bought a pack of mini sketchbooks from this company on Amazon to try them out because I thought they were so cute. And I'll be using watercolor, maybe mixed with some gouache, maybe use some metallic paint. We'll see. We'll play around with this. You know, I'll be starting with my Princeton 8 long round. I might use my Princeton 8 Neptune brush. Basically, we're just going to play with painting with the brushes. I have paper towels here and water jars, of course. Just using techniques that I've shown you in many of my videos. Now painting it on the black paper. So I have white gouache here. I'm just going to water it down. And you can use gouache, like gouache is very opaque if you just use minimal water, and if you use a lot of water, it's like watercolor. So see, I'm putting more water in here. I'm just going to make some simple flowers with this. I'm going to tap it on my paper towel, make sure it's great. So, see, the thicker the paint, the more opaque it is. Just pushing my brush around like this, sideways. Getting this nice little flower. See? Holding it on its side. See how I'm doing it more of a side, side, side. And then you can do like a little one here. Just like that. Maybe add a little spray coming out here. And we have these simple white flowers, right? Now what I mean by, we can use the watercolor. So I have, I'll mix my yellow, my cadmium yellow deep here. Right? I'll add my peacock blue, a nice pretty green. Now watch me use the watercolor on this. It's a watercolor paper, but it's black. Let's see if it comes up. Yeah, it comes up pretty good. We just gotta test it out. Just doing some stems and simple leaves. These are on the brighter side with the green. I might add some deeper green with that. Let's see how pretty that is with just the white and the green. I might go in and add a little, take some burnt umber. I had some green in my brush still. Grab a little yellow, little browns. Kind of just stick some stems back here. We can add some little white, like dots, blossoms on this one. Just to give it a little variety, right? And then of course the middle of the flower should have something. So I'm going to take my yellow and add a little burnt umber to it. Get this like golden yellow. And I'll just take my tip of my brush and I'm just going to make these little marks. Zoom in so you can see. Up, 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 up. Indicate the center. And look how cute that is, just by itself. Now you see, this paint had more water in it, so it's going to dry lighter. So it's going to look gray. After it dries, if it's still too light, you can add more white. And on the green, if it's drying too light, we can add some more opaque water gouache to it. So if I take a little white gouache and I add some magenta green, it makes it even lighter. See that? Gives it a little highlight. So when that dries, like I said, you can play around with going deep with the color, adding some more opaque white. See, this is more opaque than how it's drying. It's drying more gray. Let's go back in and add some white gouache. Oop, got a little yellow on that. You see the difference? See how it's drying gray? It had more water to it than I wanted to have. Then you can play around with adding some more gouache that's less water. Can you see the difference in the two colors, the two tones? Alright, that's the simple first one. We're going to move on to the next one. So we're moving on to the next one, but before that, you see how the green dried darker because it was a little less opaque? So we're going to keep with that green. We're going to do like a fern. This is a simple design. So I have that green that we did before. And we're just going to make a line like this, right? See that line? And then from here, you're going to take it and you're just going to wiggle your brush. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It's pretty lime green, so I might add a little more blue. I have more peacock going in there. I might add a little Prussian blue. I want it a little bit darker. Okay, so let's just go back over that. So if you're just kind of wiggling it and then going down into a point, we'll have our fern. And it gets smaller as you go to the top. So you have like that. If you want to flip it, it makes it easier for you. You flip it, you just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Go smaller. And that's how you make a really simple fern. Do the same thing with gouache. Look how cute that fern is. Could have another small one kind of bending. Wiggle. Wiggle. Like we're in the forest. May have like a little one that's curled like a fiddlehead fern. And you can put some leaves like this. And that is the simple fern, which is like a nice little pretty botanical. And like I said, if you wanted to add some deeper colors, it will dry darker, I'm sorry. I could take some more Prussian blue, maybe some burnt umber, and go in here and add some of the darker color on some of these leaves. This is like a forest fern. Hope you can see that. So that's number 2. See how it dried darker? So keeping with this botanical theme, let's see. I'll do some strawberries. I don't know why I'm thinking of strawberry botanical, but I've done a couple of strawberries. I kind of like. So we got this green already. Might as well use it, right? So we're just going to take the tip of our paintbrush. Going to do this curve like that. Stem coming down. If you see that curved stem, I'll do another one kind of off of that. You can do some leaves, which is basically like the leaf shape. I'm going to add a little bit darker color here. See, I'm adding some more Prussian blue and burnt umber. And little spikes off of that. So you make the leaf shape, and then you just take the tip of your brush and push it to make the little spikes. Strawberries have that. Predominant leaves, kind of little spikes on them. And then you're making the little hat. So just like that. Now it might look bright right now, the green, because it's on the black, but it will dry darker. So I like to make my reds. I got magenta, quinachradone magenta. I'll clean up my brush, and I'll put in some yellow. Make a nice, pretty red. It's kind of a dull red. One with bright magenta, yellow. Play around with mixing the two till you get the color that you like. And then we're just making that strawberry shape. It's just this, almost like a heart that's closed. And do a little one over here. See that shape? It's kind of hard with it. So it's black, so it's hard to see sometimes. And I like to do 3. I might put in like another one. Maybe up here, and I'll add the green to it in a minute. Now it's pretty wet, this watercolor, so I'm just let it dry. See that? I'll go and add some green to it. So you can see the green drying here, and it's darker. It's kind of what we want. We want this mysterious botanical design. I'll add some more leaves here. There's some stems here. And some more leaves. We'll have to let the red part of the strawberry dry before we go ahead and put all the little dots. So I'll let that dry and come back. So it's dried and it's fairly dark. If you want to lighten it up a little bit, I'll just clean up and show you. You can add that white gouache to your red. See, a little bit of white gouache. And it's going to brighten up that red. Just like so. And the same thing with the green, if we've gone over before. Add a little bit of the white gouache to the green. It's going to make it lighter. And you can add some highlights. I'm going to add some yellow on this one. See some highlights on the leaves. If you wanted to do that. Highlights. I would leave like a green line in the middle on that one. And this one on the bottom. Don't forget, it will still dry a little bit darker too. But that's just the way you can highlight it. See, it's already drying here, it's a little darker. See? A little cute way to highlight it. And then of course, just take the white gouache for your little seeds on your strawberry. I wouldn't make them round, just get a little dash, like thick little dashes. Maybe I would use a smaller brush, but it's kind of how I'm rolling with it today. Again, get this highlighted green. And that's the little strawberry. Isn't it cute? So you can see it's like really kind of darker down here. And again, just go and grab your little highlighted color and add the little sprays. Of course, the white's really standing out. If you want to make the pink, again, add the little white to that. You can go in here and highlight the strawberry by adding some gouache. See how I lighten that section up? Same thing over here and here. And it just brightens up that little strawberry. Fun to paint on black, isn't it? Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. For this one, let's keep with them. I'm thinking that this whole theme is turning into like a woodland theme. So let's do some mushrooms, okay? You can make them any color you want, but I'm going to grab some my burnt umber here. Mix some cadmium yellow deep with that. It's like a yellow, goldy color. Now you can take, again, and put some more of that burnt umber over here by itself. Again, you could take the gouache, just a little bit of the white gouache, add it to this yellow color, and it will become more opaque. See that? So we can take that yellow color, make that the cap of the mushroom. A lot of water in this. I'm going to add some more white, a little more burnt umber, more yellow. Making less watery. Still kind of watery, but so, you know, mushroom is just like a half circle. Kind of like go out a little bit on the side. Since it's a lot of water, it's going to dry and it's going to be darker when it dries. Got this burnt umber. Gonna add a little gouache to that. You can make it brown. So he's basically just taking your brush and you're making these a line that's curved down here and curved here, and then you're going to swoop in on the bottom and go like this. I don't know if you can see that because it's black, but we'll add some white to this brown so you can see it. Now it's beige, see? See, we'll add that little highlight. Make it a little bit lighter. See that mushroom? Let's make a red one. We already have that color mixed up. I'm going to add some more though, yellow and red. So again, a little, oops, you know, those red polka dot mushrooms would be kind of cute. You put like 2 of those. I'm doing like another one over here, a small one. One, 2, and then we'll add the little brown beige bottom. You can add a little orange, whatever color you want, but I'm going to add the brown. You can add a little white to that, make it a little gray. So I'm going to add some of that white right on there, right in there, and mix it. Comes right alive. Same thing with this one. So the highlight, it's kind of bleeding into this part, but we can just fix that by adding the color back in. And we'll take our greens. We'd mix some more green up. Cadmium yellow deep, peacock blue, a little Prussian blue. Just make some little grasses here next to it. A little bit on the brighter side, but it's fine. Mushrooms. Now this cap was yellow, right? Dried really. It dried, so we can grab the yellow again. Thick, like right out of the tube. Add a little bit of the burnt umber. And see, now you made it more yellow. That may be a little too bright. We'll see how that dries. We could go back in and add some burnt umber right in there. And that will dull it down a bit from that bright yellow. But see how cute this little guy is? Now we could just, actually, you can add in like little white flowers if you wanted. Kind of here. Dun, dun, dun. It comes like this really cute little scene. And you can see that this is really dark brown back here on the mushroom. We kind of want to keep it that way. So if you want to highlight a little more and add a little more color, a little more gouache, kind of pump that out a little bit. And under the mushroom. So you just take 1 tube of gouache and you can mix in all your watercolor and you can create all these fun tones. I'm gonna add some white again, highlight it. See, it dried gray. I'm highlighting it again. I'm adding some more white. I'm just mixing it right on this darn paper. You gotta try doing things like this. Takes you out of your comfort zone. See, the red's already drying darker. I'm adding some white to the screen here. It's already drying darker. We can grab that white and go in there. Pink, yellow. Get a little thicker and more opaque, like we did with the strawberry. All right, we're gonna let this dry and come back and see what we got. So not bad, but I think this one dried too flat. Like the colors just looks flat. So we want to add some tonality. We keep the yellow kind of where it is here. Might add some more burnt umber. I gotta find my burnt umber. Here we go. Sorry guys. Ran out. Mix that color in with the color we had here. That was kind of beige. Grab some more white. Make it darker. Maybe a little black tinge to that. Okay. That's a little too dark. Gonna put a little shadow underneath the cap. Like that. If you want to add some more color to that, like black gray. That one worked out good. So now the yellow part, I'm going to take some of that brown, mix it with some of this yellow that we have here that we did for the cap. And we can put some of that on the side here. See, just a little bit on the side. Just so it doesn't look flat. It has some depth to it. Kind of pushing that around. And then you can take some of that white and add it to the yellow and give a highlight over here. So that pulls it out. That pushes it back. See what I'm saying? Same thing with the mushroom, the red one. Add a little more weight to this. And that side gets a highlight. Just like that. Just pops it out. And then of course you want to add your little white dots to the mushroom. And it's bleeding a little bit because it's wet. But you get the little dots. I'm gonna have to clean that up. Clean that up with color. Just clean that up, and then I'll go back in and I added some more bright red. So a little bit brighter. For this one, you don't have to put any dots on that one. You can just leave it the way it is. If you want to put some stripes on it, go for it. You know, do some fun techniques and things with it. I'm trying to keep it more in the realistic botanical kind of way. So I'm gonna let that dry and go back and do the dots. Okay, it's dried. I can go back in and add my little dots. Polka dot. Polka dot mushroom. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next one. This next one I'll keep doing a flower, another flower kind of situation. We did white ones. I'm gonna clean up my little palette here. Yeah, we'll do it with that. We'll do some yellow ones. My yellow's getting a little messy here. I'll just add it with the brown because it makes a nice orangey yellow, brown yellow color. Now, this yellow is pretty thick. You can just make some simple, like botanical daisy kind of flowers. So just making the petals here, just simple yellow petals like a daisy. I wouldn't do all of them. So it's a curved line, and then the curved line in the middle, and then you fill in the color. Let me show you again. So you're doing a line that's curved, another line that's curved, and you fill it in. Curve, curve, fill it in. It's kind of like black-eyed Susans. And you fill it in a little more, like here. And you can do a little one. Just do a bunch of yellow flowers. They will dry again, like we've seen with the mushroom and the other things, darker. And if you want to highlight them, what do I say? Add a little white gouache. Look at that highlight. Just took a little gouache, add it to that paint color. It's already highlighting it. And of course, we got to make our greens. So we have our cadmium yellow deep. Some I'll add the Prussian blue. Minimal water to make it more opaque. simple stems and leaves. See that? You can have stems coming this way and leaves. Look how cute that is, right? I didn't really do anything spectacular. And then I'm actually going to add a white center. Why not? Let's see how that looks. If we don't like it, we can always change it. But I want to do something a little different. I kind of like it. And again, if you want to add some white to your green and highlight some areas, just to have them pop a little bit, like we talk about. I like doing the black with this pop of color and little color because it's like this mysterious looking, you know, kind of dramatic flowers. So again, I'm going to add the yellow to that. Excuse me, the white to the yellow. And see how it just pops out. Pop, pop, pop. And you can keep the yellow again. This was a really simple one to do. Voila! I think I should do some like herbs. That'd be kind of fun, right? So that was a simple yellow one. We're gonna move on. Alright, so that kind of keeping in with like woodland kind of stuff. Let's think about bugs. You could do a million bugs. You could do. I'm not gonna do bees because I already have black hair. I mean, I would have to outline it. Butterflies could be kind of pretty. So we could try and do some kind of monarchy kind of butterfly. I've got, I have brilliant orange here. Just put that right in here. I can add some burnt umber to it, tone it down a bit. Maybe a little of this yellow. Gonna have to use more yellow, huh? It's a little too brown. I'm gonna dull it back up. I'm not dull it back up. I'm gonna brighten it back up with some yellow. Add more orange. All right. Butterfly shape. I've been seeing a lot of these monarchs. And I'll do one on its side. Just like that. It's not going to be like a real monarch. I'm just kind of doing my own mental version of one. Just like that. Oops, I'm getting cut off. So I just did this butterfly wings. Just like that. I'll add some more brilliant orange. While it's still wet, clean up my brush. I'm going to grab some more of this yellow. You can go in and kind of like blend in some of the yellow. So I'll take my yellow right in the tube. Just kind of blend it in with the orange here. See, it's already highlighting it. It's very wet. Do a little of that here. Right in the corner, see the butterfly? And I grab some more orange. It's funny how I realized I wasn't going to do bee because of the black, but then the monarch butterfly has the black edge. So we're going to just play with this. It doesn't even have to be this monarch kind of colors. We can make the middle any color we want. I could do like a yellowy beige kind of color. So I'm going to grab that yellow I have, mix it with that beige tone, some white gouache for the middle. See the butterfly, so it stands out a little bit. Oops, got a little too thick. Hey, if you want to add some green to that, whatever. I mean, you guys got to explore and play. So I'm going to grab some of that Prussian blue, peacock blue. Mix it to this yellow mixture. Got this fun green. I'll add some more peacock blue. So I'm getting like a dark kind of turquoise, and I'll add some of the white gouache to that. Get this pretty blue turquoise. Play around with color, guys. Gonna fix that beige color and add the turquoise. just brighten this up. Make it different. Now it's a little wet, so I'm going to have to go in and fix that. But for the antennae, I'm going to make a nice... Just going to grab my number 4 Princeton and just take the white, water down a little bit with the turquoise, and do the antennae. Isn't that cute? Well, it's still wet. If you did want to bleed in some color, like I'll take the quinachradone magenta, put some over here. I'll add some white gouache. Get a nice pretty pink or magenta. You kind of play around with putting color in the butterfly's wings. So it's not like a monarch. It's just like a fun colored butterfly that you made. Little dots, big dot down below here. Right? Getting cute and fun. Maybe add some deeper blues. I have my ultramarine up here. I'll add a little white gouache to that. Got some pretty blue. Just put some dots on the bottom of the wings here. Look how pretty that is. So it was going to be Monarch and realistic kind of in a way. But I changed it. Because I can. See how pretty that is? It's still very wet in here, but we're going to play around with that. I'm going to add some more of that blue. It's a little bit darker. Maybe highlight the edges now. Because remember, it was going to be black. The Monarch, we can't do that. So we're going to do blue kind of lines instead. I'll highlight the outside edge. So this is still too damp. I'm going to have to wait till it dries to come back and play with that. Alright guys, now that it's dry, I can go back in and play around with the blues. And add some more white gouache to this. Say ultramarine blue. Get a little bit darker. Play around with the consistency and the color. So I can use those little lines that you see. See the little veins? Let me get a little darker. Going here to the edge to make these little veins connecting into the edge. And then I would put like a little dark highlight on the side of the butterfly here. Just like that. Go around the circle. But with the black paper, you can have fun just highlighting color. Look at that. Little dashes. Now I didn't put any leaves or flowers in here, but I could just do that. I'll just add some leaf. Just some simple leaves, little stems. And then you could add some pretty flowers to that. Pink, white, whatever you want to do. Add some pink ones. See, that was that pink that was mixed with the white gouache. I just got some simple pink flowers. You want to add a little more magenta to that in the bottom. Play around with that. Look how cute that is. I want you guys to have fun when you're trying out different papers and stuff. See, I'll just add a little line here. Little leaves. Go out here. Some more leaves. Simple stuff. Leaves. Stems. These ones won't have flowers on them. Just be like the leaves. And again, grab your white gouache. Just mix it with that green. If you want to highlight the green on the leaves at any point, or even the stem. See that? Just going to pop it up. Isn't that cute? Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. Well, this one we're just going to do some simple leaves, stems. So you take your greens, mixing up my green. So I'm just going to curve, maybe bend this one, about here. So just 3 lines, and I'm just going to do some simple leaves back and forth. Bigger ones. Right? Even bigger ones. When that dries, you can cross over it with other colored leaves if you want to. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So those are just simple. You can take some brown and that green that you mixed up. Go over here, crisscross on top of it, see what I'm saying? And add some stems. So just adding some botanical colored leaves, and simple like that. And again, grab the white, mix with your greens. I'm making a mess here, but you can highlight some of the leaves. We have that mysterious looking pretty botanical on the black paper. This challenge. Voila! Next one, I'm going to do another floral. So maybe keep that yellow. I'm going to do the orange, pink. We can do a pink one with some of this orange up. And we'll do our pink color that we had here, that we used from the butterflies. Adding more magenta. So I'm just doing this like simple wiggle, wiggle, wiggle flowers. See how I'm just wiggling it? Kind of going downward, kind of like a larkspur. I'll grab my green with my paintbrush. So I've got cadmium yellow deep. I'll add some Prussian blue to that. Decent green, some browns. We'll just go down here and we'll connect them. It was hard to do the thing in the beginning, didn't just do it the opposite way, so I'll show you again. And then we'll just add the little lines back and forth here. Put some leaves on the bottom, or in between if you want to do that. I'll put some in between leaves here. Super simple ones for these flowers. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle pink. Add some white gouache. See? Boom. Highlights. White gouache. Highlights. Kind of lost the pink there. Grab some magenta. And you have these pretty simple pink flowers. Isn't that cute? I think we should do some blue ones next. I'm doing some flowers at the end here because I feel like it. Grab my green, just put a little more sprays. And that's a simple pink one. Actually, I'm going to do a simple blue bird. So I have that blue we mixed up here with ultramarine and the white. So bird. Just going to curve the line here, curve it back, give him a little tail. So it's hard to see because it's loosely wet. So here we go again. Kind of like an oval. And put the little tail there. And his little head. Right? Round circle head. Little bird. Bird, bird, bird. Bird's the word. And I'll grab my my Princeton 4, mix some of the yellow, a little bit of brown, and I'll make the beak. And the rest of the bird has to dry before we go into all the knick-knacky things, but I'm going to have it on a branch. So I'm going to take the brown that I had, get some yellow, cadmium yellow deep, mix some of that white gouache. Look at this yellow, brown, grab some black. And I'm just going to make this branch kind of like right here and have something going down like that. From here we can put some leaves Got the greens that we mixed before. See, I'm just adding some browns or whatever colors to it. And I'll just make, ooh, that's too dark. Some bright leaves. Attaching the leaves to the stem of this branch. I'll make his little legs with the number 4 brush. So we have that beigey color here. I'm gonna add some more brown. And I have a little black gouache. I'm gonna add that to that. And put his feet there. Now for the bird itself, we're gonna play around with color on him. I've got that ultramarine. I'll add to that blue we had first. Right? Just put a little line. Some lines down here on the bottom here. We're not going to make like this realistic bird. It's going to be more stylized. So I'm adding some blue up here. This will be his wing. Little dashes. Play around with this. With color. Adding some blue. Now I'm going to grab that white gouache again. Go mix it with that blue. So I'm going to highlight his little wing here. And go put some of that blue here on the under part of his face. I gotta put the eye in. And then the bottom here. This is gonna be a loose bird. Grab some more dip, ultramarine blue. Just going up here. Making a very simple bird with these colors. Now we need I'm gonna grab some black for the eye. And I'll do the white little halo with the gouache. Some black for the eye. This is all kind of starting to dry. When that dries, and also you can put some flowers in by the branches. I'm just going to grab some white, put some white little flowers. This branch dries, we can go add some deeper color to it. Same thing with the bird. We can add some lighter color or deeper color. Again, I'll add some more white to highlight the wing and the tail and around here, around the eye. It's a little much water here. It's kind of bleeding, but just really trying to do the loose bird. Alright, we're going to let it dry and come back. Alright, it's more dry now, so I can go ahead and add more highlights. I'm adding more white to this blue paint that I had, more white gouache. See? And I can add like even brighter for the wing and the tail. And highlight around here. If that's getting too bright, you can go back in and add some more blue. Just highlighting this part. A little birdie. His tail. And then with the leaves and then the stem also. So the leaves, we talked about this 1,000 times, but again, take your color and highlight whatever you want to highlight. Play around with the greens. And then the stem as well. Let me grab. You can make it darker or lighter. See, adding a little highlight to this. And then his little legs. Gotta fix the little legs here. Woohoo! That's the little bird. I mean, for the highlight on his little teeny eye, you gotta have a little teeny brush. Do it with the little dot. If you can. Put a little white around it. See that? That's a little tricky. So that's the bird. And we're going to move on to one more floral, and then we're done with our whole entire challenge. Okay, Mr. Birdie's done. The last piece, I want to do a purple flower. So I'm going to grab that magenta that I have and some ultramarine blue. Look at that pretty purple. More blue, actually. More blue. I'm gonna grab the white, highlight it. We can make like a pansy. I'll show you guys how to do these on YouTube. So it's like a roundish thing here and another one here connecting like that. A little violet. Do like another little one smaller here. We'll have to add some deeper tones also. And I'll do a little half one that's not opened here. Grab my brush. Gotta make our green. Alright, so we have our greens here. And we're just gonna do a little stem down. Stem here, and then little leaves here. And then we'll add a little green to this and bring it down. Put some leaves in this one. Just that simple. Simple little leaves. You can add some deeper tones to it if you want. And now the purple's drying. We can take our brush and we can make some deeper color. So I've got that ultramarine blue. I'm adding it to that purple. See that? And I'll make it a little bit darker here in the center. Just a simple violet, a little bit darker here. And the same thing, like, I'd even add more blue. Get even darker going towards the center. It's kind of wet, so it's not doing it as much. And then you can add some white to that blue we had out here, that pinkish blue. You want to highlight it out here. See, highlighting it while it's still damp and wet, and going in and adding that white. Kind of mixing it around right on the page. Just like that. Pretty loose and simple. And out here too. And then we're just going to take our cadmium yellow deep and put a little center in there and call it a day. Oops, that one doesn't, that's too wet. Boop. Paper towel, dry it. But you get the idea. Look how cute and simple. And again, with the leaves here, if they dry too dark, you can add the little white gouache highlight to pop the color out a little bit. Play around with that. Get it really fun and exciting. And that's that. So there's that last one. So here's our full watercolor black mini sketchbook challenge. Got the white botanical, little fern, little strawberry, little mushrooms, little yellow daisies, butterflies, just some greenery, some more pink flowers, a little birdie told me, and a little purple violet. So I hope you guys enjoyed this challenge. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section, and happy painting!